Another round of Arctic air on the way to end the week. And before that, we'll have snow develop on Thursday. We'll time out how much snow is on the way.
Overnight snow causes slick conditions and multiple crashes. We are live in the Storm Tracker with a look at roads during your commute.
Overnight cleanup continues after pipes burst inside the Heritage House apartments. We've got the new developments this morning for the people living there.
New from overnight, St. Louis firefighters battle brutal conditions during a fire in South City. What we know about the overnight incident.
Keeping all pets warm and safe during this bitter cold. The shelter is now asking for your help as they reach capacity.
This is Today in St. Louis, focused on you.
We begin this morning with a live look at downtown as we were in another weather alert. The extreme cold and the light snow that we saw overnight has caused some slick road conditions out there. We're going to take a live look at Interstate 44 in Arnold. Do we have that? We don't have that right now, but trust us, it is snowy there as well as it is throughout our area. A good Tuesday morning, everybody. I'm Randy Knott.
And I'm Michelle Lee. We just want to say thanks for joining us, including those of you who might be watching us on 5 Plus. Hope you have a big cup of coffee this morning because you're going to need it for our team coverage and our weather alert day. Anthony is keeping an eye on the weather. It's super cold outside, and of course, Paul's keeping an eye on the road. You've been really busy this morning.
Yeah, we got a few to let you know about.
Yeah. So as far as our weather goes, that weather alert is because of the bitter cold that's still in place. Dangerously low wind chills, and a lot of schools have called off class for today. So make sure you're checking the bottom of your screen. And if you have to dash out, you can check that list on KSDK.com. As far as the numbers go, it is down near zero this morning. Downtown, Lake St. Louis, O'Fallon, Missouri, and it's even 1 below zero in Baldwin and Wildwood. But you factor in that wind, and it feels like a good 10 to 20 degrees below zero this morning. So it seems like a smart deal for a lot of the kids to be at home. You don't want the little ones waiting outside, and especially if the bus is late. Oh, it's brutal. So as far as what you need to wear if you do have to venture outside, 17 degrees for the high. Layer up coats, hats, gloves, and scarves. Yeah, you'll need it all for today. We do have better weather on the way tomorrow as we break freezing. We'll talk about that coming up. Let's get over to Paul. Wow, you have had several crashes, a whole interstate shut down. What's going on 64?
Yes, still happening here, Anthony. 6440 westbound at Kings Highway. So you could kind of see the Science Center here in the lower right. That's where the accident is going westbound. Going eastbound is no party either, but that highway is still shut down. And then we have an accident downtown, which had crews kind of arrive late. They're challenged. There's a lot going on near the Poplar Street Bridge going eastbound that was causing a delay. But the big one is what we just talked about. Take 44 if you can. Look at 44 right here. I will say we've probably had overconfidence on the roads this morning. That's why we have the accidents. Of course, we want you to have good self-esteem, but too much confidence on the roads means you're going to get in an accident out there right now, and you can just see all of it is really, really problematic. Even a little bit further to the west, 270 at Ladue. We have another accident, and 170 at Page. Give yourself double the time because of these accidents. You're going to have some delays out there. We will talk more about that coming up. You know, authorities worked multiple slide-offs and crashes overnight as well. This 3-car crash happened, you know, it was earlier overnight on eastbound 40 right before Hampton. That was really a big one. And just before midnight, crews were called to another multi-vehicle crash on Interstate 44 at Shrewsbury. This morning, slick conditions could cause more crashes, you know, just like these. Our Sydney Stallworth is in the Storm Tracker right now with a look at conditions. Where are you, Sydney?
Hey there, Paul. We're actually on I-70 on the 63 eastbound flyover ramp, and just moments before you got to us, the car in front of us was stalled, turning the wheel, trying to get over this. It's very, very slick. They ended up making it over the flyover ramp, and then just before that, we had a FedEx truck that was struggling to get over these ramps. Be sure to take it slow when you're out here. Let me give you a look at the front of the Storm Tracker this morning. You're going to see lots of red lights if you're headed out. People are taking it slow, and not just for that reason. This dusting of snow that we got overnight really made the road slick. We've seen at least 2 cars stalled on 70 when we were headed out here so far, and one of them was in the middle lane. Now, we're going to take a look at what was done overnight. MoDOT crews had been working around the clock and still are to clear these streets. Here's some video from earlier this morning of MoDOT trucks along I-64 in Richmond Heights. Remember to give those crews plenty of space and don't crowd the plows. Now let's get a look on the other side of the bi-state. Let's go on over to Columbia, Illinois. Blowing snow can be seen in the overnight video that our crews collected. Take a look at that layer of snow that built up near a neighborhood called Evergreen Terrace. That's along Route 3. Now, Anthony did mention that we saw about a 1 inch or an inch and a half of snow, but that could really bring some slippery conditions when it comes to the roads. Your tires lose traction. We just saw it happen minutes ago. You could find yourself in a crash or spin out on the side of the road. That's why we want to have some safety tips for you. This morning, AAA is saying if this happens to you, you find yourself slid off to the side of the road or crash, you should of course call 911, stay with your vehicle, put on your emergency signals, or maybe tie a cloth to your car to signal that you're in distress, and then try to stay warm, of course, by putting on all of your clothes, blankets, run the engine if you can to warm up in short periods. Let's get on out to the front of the storm tracker. Again, we're kind of moving now that we are on 64 eastbound. Again, when you do these flyover ramps, be sure to take it slow, because we've seen a FedEx truck and an SUV just in front of us struggling with that. We're going to continue to watch the roads and we'll bring you the very latest, but right now it just seems like some cars are really losing traction, so be safe and take it slow. Back to you guys.
All right, Sydney, you and the Mighty Joe stay safe out there. This morning we have an update to a story that we've been following since early yesterday. The Heritage House apartment building in Midtown St. Louis is now empty.
Megan Kernan is joining us in the newsroom with some new developments overnight. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning, Michelle and Rennie. Well, the frigid temperatures definitely contributed to the damage. The apartment had no heat, which led to busted water pipes. And this morning, we've learned from management at the Heritage House Apartments that all residents have now been evacuated. As you can see from our video from overnight, cleaning crews are there at the building on Olive Street. Our crew spotted a cleaning truck on the scene, as well as ventilation equipment. Now, it's unclear when the damage all started, but the building was without heat during some of the coldest days this winter, and that lack of heat led to water pipes bursting, flooding the building, and causing damage. Residents were extremely frustrated when we talked to them yesterday.
They tell us that when the water dries up and they get some plumbing done, then the heat will circulate and come back in. But no one has told us anything.
Plaster is falling everywhere. There's nothing that has fell in my apartment yet, but the lady who actually knocked on my door, her whole bathroom and ceiling has failed.
Now, the property manager at Heritage House Apartments said we have to reach out to the St. Louis Fire Department and the St. Louis Health Commissioner for more information. Coming up in our next half hour, the local organizations helping residents over the next few days. In the newsroom, Megan Kernan, 5 on your side.
All right, thanks so much, Megan. These bitter cold temperatures may have you waking up to frozen pipes, you know. So this morning, Illinois American Water is providing some tips to help you de-thaw your pipes this morning. First thing you should do is shut off the water immediately. Next, apply heat to the frozen pipe by warming the air around it. Use a hair dryer, maybe a space heater or some hot water. But check pipes, or I should say, once those pipes thaw, check them for cracks and leaks. You can also consider a freeze alarm, which sounds off when the inside temperature drops below 45 degrees.
New from overnight, fire crews battle the bitter cold as they fight a vacant house fire. This is in South St. Louis. It started just after 3:30 this morning on Missouri Avenue near Utah and Jefferson. No injuries have been reported, and no word as of yet as to what caused this fire.
right, let's get an update on our first weather alert this morning. And, well, as you look out live in Belleville, you can see the ground has a fresh coat of snow. We did have that snow come on in yesterday evening and overnight. So if you went to bed early, you may have missed it, but that's what awaits you out the door this morning. And the ground is frozen solid. Those frigid temperatures will linger today. Numbers will not break freezing at all. We'll stay in the teens for highs. And then there's another round of snow on the way for Thursday as our temperatures behind this next system will plummet once again. Yes, another blast of Arctic air coming after we rebound into the 30s tomorrow and Thursday. We're back into the single digits and teens as we kick off the weekend. We'll check and see how long this next round of cold is expected to stick around. That's coming up.
Thanks so much. The search for a missing man after a North St. Louis fire will continue today. This morning, the warning and tips from firefighters to prevent damage to your home.
Former President Donald Trump is named the winner of the Iowa caucus. The next race candidates are now looking towards.
And those extreme temperatures have animal shelters overflowing as they try to keep pets safe today. This morning, how you can help keep them warm. In the meantime, as we head to break, we are going to take a live look at I-64 westbound near Kings Highway. And as you can see, the roads look clear, and you might have some confidence going out on them this morning, but we have also seen a lot of incidents. Paul Cook is keeping us on alert this morning, and so is Sydney Stallworth and the mighty Joe Young, just being safe out on the roads. We're back after this.